how you doing today? We're in Nashville, Tennessee at Madame Tussauds at Opry Mills, and this is Bob Dylan, considered to be one of the greatest songwriters and major pop culture figures over his 60-year career, and this talks about when he met Johnny Cash. And next is Muddy Waters, pioneer of the blues, known as the father of the modern Chicago blues. At the piano, this is Duke Ellington. It's a very influential jazz composer and band leader. I tell you, they look so real. This is George Strait, and he has the record for the most country singles and albums in country music. And of course, you know who this is, Whitney Houston. This is the outfit she wore in the Super Bowl, number 25 in 1991. Look how tiny she is, and this looks so real. Look at her face. And this is a picture op. You can sit there and have your picture taken. We're just going to walk on through. Never know what you're going to find, who's going to pop up. Kind of looks like someone's living room. Still going. You can, of course, sit down and take pictures. And this is the great Hank Williams, one of the most influential, significant songwriters of all time. If you haven't seen, well, I'm doing a vlog on him that's going to be coming up. I went to the place where he died. This is him and his wife, Audrey, and Hank Jr. And this is little Jimmy Dickens, wore the nudie suits. And this is little Jimmy Dickens when he was young. Only 4'7", been in the Country Music Hall of Fame since 1948, and WSM, of course, is the Nashville radio station out at the Grand Old Opry. And this is George Jones. I don't think it really looks like George Jones. And this is the great Patsy Cline, one of the greatest singers of the 20th century. I also went to her house. If you haven't seen that vlog, make sure you look at that. It was her last dream home. This is Tammy Wynette. I don't think it looks a lot like her. I did go to the home where she died, so make sure that you take a look at that. This is Waylon Jennings in front of the General Lee. Of course, he wrote that song, pioneers of the outlaw country music genre. And this is Minnie Pearl. Her real name was Sarah Ophelia Colley Cannon, and she was a member of the Grand Old Opry for 50 years. And this, of course, is Kenny Rogers. And this is Randy Travis. Had 50 number one singles, 16 number ones before he had his stroke in 2013. This is the great Loretta Lynn. 18 Grammy nominations, won 3, 8 Country Music Awards. Also, I went to her cabin. Her niece gave the tour of her cabin. It was great. This is a $1 Million Quartet. Of course, Johnny Cash, Carl Perkins, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Elvis from Sun Studios. Can't disguise this guy, Jimi Hendrix. But I want you to look how incredible and lifelike. Look at the skin. They've even got the pores. Isn't that amazing? In a little bit, we're going to hear from Darius Rucker. He's going to tell us how they did that. Soul Lounge. This is Marvin Gaye. His dad had killed him in Los Angeles in 1984 in their home. Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul, sold 75 million records. One of the best-selling artists. Diana Ross, Stevie Wonder. Now this is Ozzy Osbourne, and I swear we heard him say something. And what we're going to try to do is get him to talk. And it looked like when you sat down beside him that he'd say something. So one of the girls decided that she would sit there and see if we could make him speak. So she's going to sit down here in a minute. And again, very lifelike. She was trying to get me to sit down. So she's sitting down. We're trying to get him to talk, and he's not saying anything. So she tried touching him, and we're like, we know we heard him talk. And then when she got up, he said, I am the Prince of Darkness. And I'm like, well, that can't be good. So we all started laughing, and we're going to keep moving on. So the next thing we're going to come to is we're going to go into another room in concert. And you just walk around. There's a lot of music playing. Of course, I've had to block that out because of copyright. And I don't know a lot about the new artist, but this is Carrie Underwood. And she's, you know, one of the newer stars. And then, of course, this is Michael Jackson, the king of pop. It's amazing. Looks a lot like him. Tiny, tiny little fella. I'm like 5'3". I think I was bigger than he is. I know he's taller than me, but he was very small. And these are just pictures of the different singers. Looks like Justin Timberlake right there. And this is Beyonce, called Queen Bey. That's what they call her. Known as one of the greatest singers of all times. I'm going to keep walking through. There's a lot there that we really didn't see. This is Elton John. Got on his toque. Wearing his toque that day for his picture. Or his lifelike wax figure. And this is Luke Bryan. Of course, he's one of the judges on American Idol. This looked so much like him. Exactly. Some of them, not so much, but that one really did. This is Faith Hill. I didn't think it really looked like her. I mean, it does and it doesn't to me. I'm sure they have the measurements and everything perfect. But outside they have pictures of actually the real stars standing with their look-alike, and it's pretty incredible. This is a bust of Darius Rucker, who of course used to be with Hootie and the Blowfish, and now he's just a country music singer. But he's explaining exactly how they did this.
Next came out of a box. Eyes. Creepy, right? Sample will match my eye color right down with the white stars. Did you know it takes 15 hours to make a pair of eyes, and that no two pair of eyes are the same? Finally, my hair.
Now this is Blake Shelton from The Voice, of course married to Gwen Stefani. He has 5 Old Red restaurants right now, one in Nashville, Gatlinburg, different places. This is Tim McGraw, Faith Hill's husband. And the next we're going to go into a room that looks like we are actually in the Grand Old Opry. So we're going to walk on through. And this is amazing. This is, it shows what the stars look like as they're looking out singing. This is Trisha Yearwood, Garth Brooks' wife. And this is definitely Justin Timberlake. I'd said him before, but this is definitely him. This is Reba. This looks so much like her. I mean, really, a lot. Then back behind her is supposedly Garth Brooks. I don't think this looks a thing like Garth Brooks. Not a thing. Keith Urban. Tiny little guy. Very tiny little guy. And this is Alan Jackson. This was amazing. As I said, I'm going to turn around. So this is supposed to be WSM, the Grand Old Opry stage. So this is what they would see as they look out into the audience as they're cheering for them. And WSM represents We Serve Millions. So we're going to go out. They definitely have a lot of merch again that you can buy. That was so neat. You guys need to come. The prices are... Let me go out and I'll let you look at the prices. There's an Elvis patch. Look at that little turntable. They gotta get one. Somebody say, what's that old woman doing with that hat on? Bono. These are cool. Nashville Lighters, guitar, Cash for President. You know, I was not expecting to find this in here. You just don't know when you what you're going to come across when you're traveling. Dolly Parton. Look at that one. Bobbleheady doll. Okay, I'm looking here and I can see this like $33. I did get it cheaper because of being a senior. Alright, now we're out into the mall. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I thought it was fabulous. You need to come. Have a blessed day. Till I see you again. Bye. And